My name's Abigail, and you're listening to Absolutely Me. Okay, try speaking into your microphone.
Speaking into my microphone. I'm trying. Am I doing it?
You're doing great.
How's it sound?
I don't know. I don't have my headphones in. It's making the little lines, though, so I know it's working.
Hey, we'll take that.
Oh, Spencer.
The lines aren't too big?
No, we're good. Mine are always big, so I always have to sit further away than my guests because I talk so loud, and I don't ever realize how loud I'm talking until I, listen back to the recordings, and I'm shouting. I have to turn myself down almost every time.
Really?
Yes, it's ridiculous. I'm very excited to have you on the podcast, though.
Happy to be here.
It's fun. This is my friend Spencer. Sorry, we just kind of jumped into chatting because that's just what we do. But this is my friend Spencer. Spencer.
Hey, what's up? I'm the friend Spencer.
Do you want to tell us a little about yourself?
Give us
some fun facts.
Fun facts?
Yes.
I don't know. I think I'm pretty awesome.
You are pretty awesome. That's fair.
See. One fun fact, at least, that I guess it's not this crazy fun. This is probably going to be the one podcast I won't listen to because I hate hearing my voice. So whatever happens here, I will never hear again.
That's okay. That's okay.
But other than that, I do marketing, stuff like that.
Yes.
I sell billboards. So if you see billboards here in Utah, that could be my fault. So if you hate them, I'm sorry.
If you love them.
Yeah, if you love them, you're welcome.
If
you hate them, I got to make money. So...
So either way, don't blame Spencer.
No. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
There you go. Perfect. Okay, so tell us about some of your interests, things that you have weird little niche things that you are very obsessed with.
Oh, man. There's so many things that I'm obsessed with. We were just talking about movies. I love movies. From a production standpoint, everyone wants to grow up and be an actor and stuff like that, but I was always nah, I want to be Steven Spielberg. I was obsessed over the creators of the movies, not the actual no shame to the actors at all, they're very talented, but I knew that was never my place. That was never where my dream was. But always obsessed with movies from a production standpoint. I have my dog. Love her to pieces.
Daisy. Shout out Daisy.
Shout out Daisy. Little basset hound. She's the best thing and the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Let's see. I am a chronic dater,
Yes.
You know that pain.
Yes.
Spencer hasn't been able to settle down, which is good and bad most of the time.
Yes.
So...
makes for good stories, though.
It does make for good stories.
And some good drama for the friends to listen to.
I like to call them shenanigans.
Shenanigans, yes. Some good shenanigans.
Let's see. I travel a lot. I go to visit some other friends out in Georgia all the time. Mm-hmm. Family down in Texas. Go to California and Colorado. All the fun places. Mm-hmm. What are some of my weird hobbies?
Why don't you tell us about your tattoo?
Oh, yeah. I love this tattoo. So, I have a tattoo I'm obsessed with outer space.
Yes.
And
this is one of the niche things I was talking about.
This is one of the niche things.
Yes.
And I have a tattoo so in the 70s, we launched a probe out to space, and we put a golden disc on this probe. And this golden disc on there has a diagram of what men and women look like, a little saying, and then a pulsar map for if extraterrestrial life, if aliens ever found this probe, they'd be able to kind of know what we are, know that we're friendly, and have a map to get to our planet, which in retrospect, I personally think is a dumb idea.
I do. I was just going to say that.
Maybe we shouldn't just be inviting random potential aliens over to the planet, but whatever. But of that map, I have a tattoo of it on my right forearm, and I think it's badass.
It is. It is really badass. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever seen your tattoo and known what it was, or do you always have to explain it to people?
There's been a handful of people who knew what it was, but most of the time they're oh, what is that? Because it looks almost like you know, like the stars that you put on Christmas trees and stuff like
Yes.
that? It kind of looks like that as a map.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you guys can Google it. You have the internet, or else you wouldn't be listening to this. So they're like,
Fair.
oh, what is that? And it's like, oh, it's a pulsar map, you know, things like that. And it's a nice reminder because it has, like, the meaning of my obsession with outer space and things like that. But it's also a nice thing for me to look at and be like, yeah, it's almost to, like, center myself. Be like, you know,
Yeah.
this is a map, theoretically a map to Earth, or a map home. So it's a thing where it's like, yeah, I can always find myself, I can find my way back, things like that. So it's got a little meanings all over the place,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
I
yeah.
love that, though. It's such a cool tattoo.
Thanks.
Much cooler than mine.
Hey, we'll get it replaced.
It's
We'll
fine.
put something over it.
It's gonna be fine. I know.
and
My
it'll
mom.
be super cool.
This is funny. I'm mentioning this now because my mom literally said, she's like, you should start a GoFundMe and ask your podcast listeners to fund a replacement tattoo. So if you hear this and you want to donate to the Abby Get Her Tattoo Covered Up Fund, hit me up.
So that's the whole reason you brought me on, just to
Just the whole
segue that.
Just a segue, yeah, just to put a plug in. If people want to pay for my tattoo replacement, I am happy to accept the money.
I'll chip in as long as I'll chip in as long as I get like a partial say in what the design is.
There you go. That could be a disaster. I let everybody decide.
It could be.
Or it could be amazing.
Yeah, that's the risk you run.
That
but
is a risk.
Let's be honest, it can't be worse than what it already is.
It's true. It's true. It's true. I know. You know what I was thinking about today too? When I was thinking about this podcast, is I was like, I should have you tell about the first time that we met each other,
In
how
high
we know
school?
each other. Yes. And how we know each other and why we're friends now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell my half of that story. And
And
then
I'll tell my
You
half.
can tell your half.
Yes.
I mean, it's not that exciting of a story.
I think it's hilarious.
It's funny, but it's also, like, really Utah dumb.
Yeah, it is.
But, so what grade were we in? Like, was it senior year or was it junior year?
I think it was junior year.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So junior year, I was going to a different high school than you were.
Yes.
I was just going to one on the other side of town, essentially. But I was really good friends with a couple people who were at your high school.
Who I was also friends with.
Yeah, that you were also friends with. And I believe this was New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
That year. And I was kind of party hopping with people at my original high school and then going to the parties with those other friends. And we ended up at a party that you and I were both at. And our mutual friend, Harrison, wanted to go to the store for something.
Yeah,
I
he
can't
just wanted to go to
remember why.
Walmart, but I don't remember why.
No, I can't remember why. And I was kind of hanging out with him because I didn't know a ton of people at the party, things like that. And then I think he introduced you and I. He's like, hey, this is my friend Abby, and this is my friend Spencer. But it wasn't like we were talking or anything like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, the three of us end up going to Walmart.
I don't know how that happened.
I don't know how it happened either. All I remember is that I was upset that I got relegated to the back seat of the car.
Because Harrison let me sit in the front seat.
Yeah, Harrison kicked me out of Shotgun Prince and put me in the back.
Yes.
And I was annoyed with that.
Yeah.
But not pissed. But like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
So we go to Walmart for whatever reason. I can't remember. And I can't even remember how it came. I think we were standing in line. And there were 5-hour energy shots. And I was like, I don't remember if I was trying to be funny or if I was trying to like break the ice or whatever. But I was like, hey, Abby, like, I'll buy some of these for you.
Uh-huh.
And you were not into it initially, but eventually I just kept pestering, and I don't know if you were like, I'm just gonna appeal to this kid or
Harrison
whatever,
was,
or if Harrison was getting in on it
You
or
both
whatever it
were.
was. And we bought you 5-hour energy drinks, which was, from what I understand, like the first energy drinks you've ever tried. And we bought you a couple, like it wasn't just one. And before we got in the car, we had you take, like, all of them, essentially. And then you were freaking wired for the rest of the night. Like, it was manic. It was...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild. And then I remember that you crashed hard, like, even before midnight hit. Like, you were asleep on a couch somewhere. I remember seeing you at the party. I was like, oh, shoot.
What have I done to this girl I just met?
And then, yeah, never saw you again after that night. We go and we graduate high school. We both go on missions. I come back, I think, after you. No, you come back a little bit after me.
A little bit after, yeah, because you got home in, like, October and I didn't get home till June of 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you came back a little bit after me. And then, I think at the time, we started hanging out a little bit more, but I feel like you and I really got close when Harrison and Kevin and I were living in a house together.
Uh-huh.
Was when we were kind of friends before that. But it wasn't, like, super tight homies. It was like, yeah we hang out, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we're friendly with one another, things like that. But then when I was living with those guys and we would come over to my house all the time and we would do stuff there all the time is when I feel like we really got close.
Yeah.
And when we would have our bachelor parties and things like that. So.
Yes, I got my guy friends all to watch The Bachelor with me one season. We watched
Peter.
Peter, yeah, Pilot Pete's.
Wasn't he? He was from The Bachelorette and he was like the runner-up,
yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
And then that was his main season.
Yes, and I got all of you into it. You refused to be into it at first, and I said, well...
I was never against it.
No, other friends were more anti. But in the end, all of you got sucked in, and I made you watch it with me every Monday night, and it was amazing, because I didn't have a Hulu, so I would come over to your guys' house so I could watch it.
Yeah, that season, man, I was a hardcore Madison fan.
Yeah, you were.
That was just...
And I remember I was so annoyed with you that you were a fan of her. It's like, we cannot be friends.
She was by far the best, and I stand by that.
But she was so the worst.
No, she was not.
Anyways, we'll talk. We're just rehashing old arguments.
Anyway, I want to hear your half
of our friendship story.
Yeah.
Yes, so this thing on New Year's Eve is in fact true that Spencer said, except for... I not only went crazy, I like had full-blown panic attacks because I'd never really even drank caffeine that much up until that point, and then I went basically from like having like a Dr. Pepper like once every 3 months to drinking like 2 or 3 5-hour energies in one night. And I literally was, like, having a panic attack and, like, crying and shaking, like, on the stairs at that party. It was so bad.
I didn't know that. Now you're making me feel bad.
No, it's okay.
Your whole audience is going to hate me from that story.
No, they're not. It's a funny story. I caved into it was you and Harrison.
Yeah, and this isn't a crazy defense, but we were teenagers.
We were teenagers, and it was fine. And I was crazy for a couple hours, and it was great. And then I passed out and slept for probably 1,000 years after that. And it was fine. It all worked out. But I remember that. I did not remember that it was you who was the other person in the car, though, until you reminded me, like, when we met again after high school. And you were like, yeah, we met. And I was like, oh, it's nice to meet you. And you're like, we've met before. And I was like, oh, we have? And you were like, yeah, I was the one at New Year's Eve. And I was like, that was you?
Like, I hated you
for 3 years. No, just kidding. But that's what I remember. And then I remember the first time we, like, hung out after I got home from my mission was you and me and Harrison and Kevin went to an escape room.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a week or so after I got home from my mission. Like, it was, like, very soon after I'd gotten home.
Yeah.
And so I was, like, uncomfortable just because I was, like, in a car with 3 guys. And I, like, had been a missionary, like, a week and a half before that, you know. But it was still fun. And I think that was, like, the first night we started hanging out. And then our friend group kind of just solidified over time. And then, yeah, now we're, like, best friends. And we talk all the time. And send each other memes on Instagram and videos. That's like the foundation of our friendship at this point.
Oh yeah.
So we just send each other stupid videos all day.
Stupid
and I love
videos,
it.
or a little bit, or some mildly aggressive political videos, because you and I share a lot of very similar views.
We do.
Which is rare for where we live.
It's true. And one of our friendship highlights, something I was also thinking about, is for the 2020 election, Spencer and I made a whole slideshow for our friends of everybody who was running for president, and we did a really good job of staying neutral.
Yeah.
We included everybody who was running.
Everyone who was running.
And we
pros
gave
and cons.
pros and cons. We gave points. We asked our friends what specific issues they thought were important. We got everybody, all the people who were running, we got their views about all the specific things. And then we made them all sit down and present it to them
Yeah.
and watch our presentation. It was like one of the most painful moments for them, I think, but we loved it.
No, they bring it up every now and then, like,
They
for
do.
2024, you should do that. And I'm like, wow, 2024, there's only going to be 2 people running, and it's not what we want. But.
I know. But that's just, yeah, Spencer and I are kindred spirits in that way.
Yep.
And we also send each other a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender videos.
So many Avatar: The Last Airbender
Because we both
memes.
love that show.
Love that show.
And so Spencer and I are pretty solid.
Yeah.
And the reason I wanted to bring Spencer on is because I wanted to talk about our friendship and about male-female friendships specifically. And because I feel like it's kind of something that people don't really talk about a lot, but that I think is really important. And like my friendships with like my guy friends in my life are all very important to me. And I feel like you feel the same way about your female friendships.
Totally. 100%.
And so I kind of wanted to dissect it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I've got some hard-hitting questions for you, Spencer.
Oh, man. If I don't know any of the answers, instead of letting me look stupid, can we just cut it out?
Yes, don't worry.
Okay.
We can edit anything out. So my first question is, do you think men and women can just be friends? Air quotes around just be friends.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like not only can they just be friends, I feel like that should be more socially accepted.
Yeah.
You know? Because one of the things that I really appreciate having... Because I don't have just you as, like, as a female friend. I hate saying the word female friend, but there's no good...
I know.
I can't say girlfriend,
yeah, I know. For this podcast...
But then lady friend sounds provocative.
Yes. A female friend.
Yeah. As much... I just want to go on the record, I hate saying that, because the word... Yeah. But anyway, I have lots of female friends. Not just you, and not just people who I've married into our friend groups, things like that. Like, I was in... Until my current job, I was in 2 very, very heavily women-dominated workplaces.
Yes.
Because I worked at Primary Children's for probably 4 years now
As a
that I
nurse.
think about it. Well, as a tech.
Oh, as a tech, yeah.
As I was getting ready to go through nursing school, things like that. But then post, like, in 2021, during the tail end of the pandemic, I was sick of working at the hospital, saw a lot of stuff, didn't want to do it anymore. I left for that, and I got a job at Pinterest. And Pinterest is a very female-dominated social platform.
Yeah.
That was literally one of the selling points that they wanted us to talk about when I was selling ad space for Pinterest. So I had tons of female coworkers who I got very, very close to. I still talk with lots of them. And one thing that I really, to circle back to what I was trying to say, what I really appreciate about those female friendships is the difference in perspective, because I do think that, like, men and women will have different perspectives on different things, and it's really good to not have that tunnel vision or the echo chamber of, you know, if I was complaining about a date I had gone on or something like that, and then one of my coworkers or you guys would be like, you know, Spencer, you know, you were kind of an asshole there. Where otherwise some of our guy friends would be like, no, man, like, you were totally right. Like, so that perspective, I think, has really helped shape me to be a better person, and I feel like it's always been very natural. Like, it's never, like, I've never had feelings for literally any of my, like, platonic female friends.
Yeah.
Like, it's always like, hey, this is my friend. Like, this is almost like it's a family thing. You know, it'd be like having feelings for my sister or something, which would be gross. We're not Game of Thrones again here. So yeah, did that answer that question?
It
or
did.
I just ramble?
I think it was great. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And I think, like you said, I've worked in a lot of male-dominated jobs where I've been, like, the job I just had was working in a warehouse. I was literally the only girl.
Right.
Like, out of 100 other people that worked in the warehouse. And so, like, my friends at work were all guys, and, like, a lot of my family friends growing up. Like, my best friend growing up was a guy because we were family friends.
Yeah.
And, like, we're still friends to this day. And, like, a lot of the people in my ward growing up that I was close to, like, there just wasn't a lot of girls. And so, like, a lot of my friends in my life have been men.
Yeah.
And I always feel like I've really, like you said, appreciated a lot of their perspective. And, like, it's just fun to have, like, men and women in a friend group. And it just, like, the dynamic is just so much more fun.
Totally.
And, like, I think men having male friendships is really important, and, like, females having female relationships and friendships is really important.
Yep.
But, like, I love all my guy friends, and, like, I love being able to, like, tell you guys dumb dating stories that happen, or, like, you guys are, like, my life panel.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I would, like you said, come in when I was dating a lot a few years ago, like, telling you guys all the dumb things I was doing. You guys would every time I had a date, I would, like, come over and debrief with all of you guys, and you'd be like, yeah, we don't like him. And I'm like, but why? He's so great. And you're like, no, Abby, we don't like him.
Let me tell you exactly what this guy's trying to
do.
do.
Exactly. And so I love that. I love having the perspective of, like, male friends. And I think it's dumb when people are so, like, I don't even know the word, just ignorant to the fact that people can have normal friendships. And like you said, I've always been the kind of person who put, like, my male friends in, like, a friendship box. And I feel like that's normal for a lot of people who do have male and female friendships.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, these are my friends. Same with women. Like, I'm like, oh, these are my friends.
Right.
You know, and it's like the same thing. And then it also, I feel like, has helped me to have friends who are men, because I can see, like, a lot of qualities that I want, like, in a partner with my male friends. And I feel like my current relationship is one of the biggest things I would, like, look for was, can this person be friends with my friends? Like, is this somebody that I would want to be friends with?
Right.
And not just date.
Right.
And, like, so that to me is really important too, like, seeing all the qualities of my guy friends and, like, what things I want in a partner, and, like, seeing how, so you guys are all great and, like, upstanding people and, like, very kind and very, like, just good people, and, like, it gives me hope. It would give me hope. I'm like, my friends are all great guys. Like, they're out there somewhere. Like, I can find them. Because I have a bunch of really great guys right here that are my friends.
Right.
And so that always made me feel good. I always really liked that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Why do you think there is so much, like, controversy about men and women being friends?
I think what my initial thoughts towards that go, and this might, again, be my obsession with not only, like, movies and stuff like that, but I love television that kind of plays into it. I have the running joke of where I like to pretend that my life is its own TV show, and
Your life is a sitcom.
That's what that's a coping mechanism that I use.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, this is just that time of the season.
Yeah.
You know, but to kind of go towards the media, I feel like in sitcoms and TV shows in particular, there's always an ensemble cast, you know, because they want both men and women to watch the show, so they're going to have men and women in the show, and they're going to be really good friends. And in that ensemble cast, you have platonic friendships, you have guy friends, you have female friends, you have, like, all those different relationships, but there's always the one couple in that show where it's like, it's the will they, won't they. And that's in every TV show. It's in so many movies. I mean, there's the whole shipping culture on the internet because of that.
Yeah.
And I think, like, that has ingrained a lot outside of the media.
Yeah.
Into being like, no, like, this isn't how it works on Friends or New Girl or How I Met Your Mother or The Office. Like, one person always has feelings for the other person. Like, something like that. That's where my brain initially goes. As to why there might be that stigma. Is it bleeding out from the media?
Yeah, I think that's true. I don't think I've really thought of it that deeply, like, in that aspect before, but I think you're right. Like, I mean, as soon as you started talking about TV shows, I was like, oh, Rachel and Ross.
Yeah.
Like, that was, like, the first thing that came to my head from Friends. and like
or Chandler and
or
Monica.
Chandler and Monica, or Rachel and Chandler, or not
Joey.
Rachel, Rachel and Joey. Yeah, or like you said in New Girl, how they like all dated each other, and that's just never been the case with our friend group.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like friend groups that I have been a part of, where everybody was just kind of like dating each other, didn't really sustain any sort of like long-term relationships.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just people, it always blows my mind, and people are like, oh, men and women like can't just be friends. I'm like, but like why do you always have to have your mind in the gutter? Like, I just think it's so
Have you
stupid.
given it a shot?
I know, I think it's so stupid. And like I hate when people are always like, oh, guys only want to be friends with you because they want to sleep with you, or like they want to hook up with you, or whatever it is. And I just think that's so untrue.
It's untrue and it's gross.
It is gross. Yeah.
Yeah, it's demeaning for the guys.
Yeah.
Be like, the only guys only want sex. Like, no, I want a friendship.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's demeaning around the women. Be like, you're just good enough to guys for sex. Like, it's demeaning on both sides.
It is.
Like,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No, I think it's dumb. What do you think has helped you have solid female friendships?
I think, like I said before, you know, having coworkers in a predominantly female like workplaces really helped.
Yeah.
In that regards. Another thing that I think helped a ton is like in my extended family, I'm the oldest grandchild and like the only grandson for like 5 years.
Yeah.
So it's like me as the oldest grandson, then granddaughter for like, you know, 6 or 7 kids.
Uh-huh.
And so like whenever there were family gatherings, things like that, I was always me and a bunch of girls.
Yeah.
Things like that. And like I have the kid under me is a younger sister. So I think like that probably has some play into it, but I wouldn't say that has everything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think one aspect of me personally is I really enjoy like being around people. Like I would say naturally I tend to kind of be an introvert. That's how I recharge.
Yeah.
But when I'm out with people, I really enjoy being out with people. I really enjoy talking. My job is to talk to people.
Yeah.
And just kind of seeing people as people, not a man, not a woman, not whatever, I feel like has helped that in that sense, you know?
Yeah. No, I think that's true, because you are a really good friend. I think
Thank
you're a good friend to everybody in your life, the boys and the girls that you're friends with.
Try.
Yeah.
Don't always succeed.
I know.
I've burned a couple bridges.
I think you're a great friend. I think you're a great friend. You're one of my very best friends.
Thank you. You're one of my very best friends.
High five. Boom.
That was a terrible high five.
That was a terrible high five.
Didn't do the trick where you look at the other person's elbow.
Let's try again.
See?
That made my hand burn. That was a good one. The sound of that in the mics is probably gonna be so loud.
I'm sorry.
No, it was good.
It
was good. It was good. I'm gonna keep it. Do you think on the note of male and female friendships, do you think your relationship with the male friends you have is different than the relationship you have with your female friends?
I would say probably a few years ago, maybe, yeah. But I think now as I've gotten older, no.
Yeah, you think they're pretty similar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, I don't know, back when in our, like, late teens, early 20s, I don't think I would have, you know, talked about some of the more fun side of dating people with some of my female friends, just because I wouldn't want to come off as like that guy, you know, things like that. But as we've gotten older and matured and we've all done, you know, whatever, it's just whatever, it's part of life, you know. And I feel like that's just, everyone's on the same playing field. If you're in my life at this point, you are equal across the board. You got to hear everything from Spencer whether you want to or not, as long you know. So, yeah, I would say initially, like, years ago, I would probably have treated him differently. And not, like, differently as one's better than the other, but, You know, like, these are things for guys to talk about. These are things that I'll talk about with the girls, stuff like that.
You have
But
to be
now
on your
it's
best
like,
behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's like, whatever. These are my friends. You know, they'll accept me for who I am.
Yeah.
So.
I love that. I think and I do think our friend group is very unique in terms of just everybody being like close with everybody else, and like everybody, I feel like we're all friends with everybody.
Yeah.
And it's not ever weird, like when we get together, everybody just kind of like lets loose and like can be themselves.
Yeah.
And like we all have, you know, it's been a few years now that we've all been such good friends, and we've been through a lot of crap in the past few years.
Yep.
And so I think at this point, like, the walls are just totally down.
Yeah.
And I really like that, because I feel like there's few places that I can go and be like 100% myself and like open. I've always felt that way with our friends.
Yeah.
And just like being able to go and just be total idiots together and just like have a good time.
Have a great time. And it's nice that with our friend group too, is that each person, even like with our friends that are all married and stuff like that,
Yeah.
we have individual relationships with each of those people that are married, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like that person's our friend's spouse. They're just here because they're here. It's like, no, they're also my friend.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I do love that. And I think we've been really lucky too with people who have like married into the friend group, that they've all been amazing.
They've all been rock solid.
Rock solid. Like, it's great. And it does feel like our little family. Like, we've talked about all of us living in the same cul-de-sac one day and just like having our kids run around like maniacs in between all the houses. Like, I don't know. I see all of you guys in my life for the rest of my life. Like, there's just not getting rid of me at this point.
Right? It's like if we wanted to, it's too late. Sunk cost fallacy.
We put too much into the friendship. I know. And I feel like really, really lucky. I was talking to my therapist about this the other day because of just everything that happened with Justin, and I completely cut all of you guys out of my life for a long time, over a year, and just how I knew that you guys were always fighting for our friendship, even from afar, and like you guys just didn't let me go. And I realized, like, through a lot of the process, this wasn't even my outline, it's just thoughts that are coming to my head, but
we love it.
I feel like I really was blessed with you guys in my life. It's gonna make me emotional to talk about, but just how amazing of friends you guys all are, and like how lucky I am to have you guys in my life, and how solid our friendship is, that I would mess up so badly and you guys would just be so gracious and taking me back. And I think about this all the time. You know exactly what
you're gonna bring up, and I'm gonna be, my face is gonna be red the whole time of embarrassment.
No, it's not embarrassing. It's so nice. But when we when I was trying to like repair relationships post abuse, and I was reaching out to people, Spencer was one of the first people that I like reconnected with, and he was one of the more open people in my life. And we went out and got food one time.
Yep.
We just like drove and got Cane's.
Yep.
And then we went and sat at the Capitol building. And
we a really cute dog.
There was a really cute dog, yes. And we just like caught up with life for the last year that we hadn't talked to each other. And
I had long hair.
You had long hair. You did have Viking hair. That was shocking to come back. And now you're back to short. You went from super short, and then the next time I saw you was long, and then now you're back to short again.
Now I'm back.
But yeah, and you told me, I like was crying when we were sitting there because I just felt so shitty about my life and about how terribly I had treated you. And you were like, you know what? And if you haven't, I'm just going to say this right now. If you've never seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, I'm going to maybe have a spoiler, but it's been out for 1,000 years. And also you should have watched it by now. So there you go. Anyways, you were like, I just think of it like Uncle Iroh. I'm Uncle Iroh and you're Prince Zuko. And like, I as soon as you came back, like, I just forgave you and, like, it was all fine. And now every time I watch that, I cry and I think about Spencer. And it's just, like, the best. And so I think our friendship is very special and I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, circling back around.
Very, very grateful on my end to be your friend.
Oh, thanks, Spence.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, going back to my original question, my relationship with men and my male and female relationships they're pretty similar. I would say, like, I get different things from my female friendships than I do from my male friendships. Like, they serve different purposes in my life.
Totally.
And, like, I know that, like, if I was having a bad day and I was, like, crying, like, you would answer the phone and you would, like, talk to me. But usually I, like, reach out to, like, female friends if I'm needing, like, intense emotional support in that way. And, like, you've given it to me before, too. But I feel like in those, like, little moments, it's just, I, like, want to call Riley and cry to Riley and then laugh with you about stupid stuff later. Like, send little memes and, like, just talk about life. And not that we don't, like, talk about deep things or, like, have an emotionally deep relationship. It's just, I think sometimes they serve a little bit different purposes, but still bring, like, a lot of fulfillment and joy to my life.
Totally.
And what would I do without...
What'd you do without all my dumb jokes?
All the jokes. I was just going to say, what would I do with all the dumb reels that we send each other on Instagram? What would I do? I'd be so sad. They bring so much joy to my life. But what, other than, like, female-male friendships, what do you think just, like, makes a good friend in general?
Oh, man. I think what just makes a good friend in general, and we kind of touched on this earlier, is just someone that you're comfortable with, you know? Like, you can be 100% wholly, unabashedly you, and they accept you for your good, for your flaws, because we all have flaws.
Yeah.
You know, I have some major flaws, and, like, the people who accept those flaws and accept me for me are the people that I want to be around, you know? And, like... There's jokes all the time that, like, picking friends is kind of weird. You're just like, hey, that's another human being, and I dig them. Yeah. Like, we're just gonna be a thing now.
Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of how it goes, but it's more of, like, I don't know. I feel like it's so much deeper than that. Yeah. You know, where it's like, yeah, this person gets me. They accept me. They care for me. They love me, you know? Yeah. And I feel like those are the kinds of friendships that I personally pursue. Yeah. Ones that are so much, like, the deeper kinds of friendships, not just coworkers, not just people you would see at church, if that's your thing, or people that you would meet, you know, wherever. Like, those really deep, meaningful friendships are the ones that last forever, the ones that carry through those hard times, and those are the ones that just... you should be pursuing. Yeah. I don't know if that answered that question.
No, totally. I love that. I think, like, that's something I've looked for a lot in friendships too. Like we said, like, just the low drama, being ourselves, like, can just show up and have a good time. And, like, I know and they're, like, low maintenance friendships. Yeah. Which I love. Like, and not that we're not, like, talking and communicating and, like, making plans and, like, spending time together, but just no matter how much time passes, like, we can all just kind of pick up right where we left off. And I love that. Like, that's something the lack of drama in our friend group makes me happy. We've not really ever had...
I can't really think of much.
Other than me.
Well, yeah, but that
was more like
wasn't
external.
In the friend group.
Yeah, that was like external drama.
Yeah. But, like, amongst us as friends, there hasn't been, like, friction or tension or a lot of
No, and I think that makes a really good friend, like somebody who just is low drama, and is actually, like, interested in, like, having a good quality relationship. Yeah. And I feel like whenever all of us get together, like, it's not, like, we have a really good time, but it's more like quality time too. Yeah. Like, we spend time, like, actually getting to know what's going on in each other's lives and, like, giving support and trying to like actually know the other people.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we all know each other really well because we like really invest the time in trying to get to know each other.
Totally.
And I mean that comes from us knowing each other now for, I mean, I've been home from my mission for 5 years, and our friends, we've progressed a lot in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
But I think it's easy. And I feel kind of bad. Like, I know a lot of people are going to listen to this and be like, oh, I wish I had friends like this. You know, I wish I had a place where I could go and, like, a friend group like this. Because I feel like we're very lucky. I feel like a lot of people that I know don't really have this.
No, I would agree. I would agree that, like, this is going to sound like I'm tooting my own horn here, which I guess I kind of am. And I'll be okay with
it's
that.
all right.
But, like, in high school, you always imagine that you're going to still be friends with those people that you care about.
Yeah.
And I feel like we are the embodiment of that. Not all of us met in high school. I mean, we kind of did, but you hated me.
But we had a bad first experience meeting each other.
But that's why my life's a sitcom. You know, to turn this to me, take your podcast and make it about me.
No, that's why I interview you. It's never supposed to be about me.
We are that friendship group that, you know, you would see on a TV show or something like that people are like, oh man, that's awesome. That's what I wished I had.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree. I remember though one time we did say if our friend group was a sitcom, it would be my life.
No, that's fair.
Which I don't think is so true, but it did make me feel very good.
Yeah. No, I would take that statement back now.
I agree.
I feel like, yeah, I would take that back, but
at the time it did make me feel very good.
At the time, I feel like that was accurate to the time.
Yeah, now not so much.
But I feel like you're the more stabilized one between the two of us now, which doesn't make for good TV.
It's true, your life is more of a sitcom than mine at this point. Which is fun. It makes good entertainment for me.
It makes good entertainment for everybody.
We're going to go out to dinner after this and talk all about the things.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about the girls I'm talking to on Hinge right now.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm looking forward to. We're not, sorry, you guys don't get privy to this information.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Maybe if I come back.
Yeah, we can do a follow-up episode. People can ask you questions about your dating life.
Oh, gosh. As long as we don't talk about that one time that lasted for way too long.
Yeah.
That's off limits.
That's fine. I would never. I wanted to, unless you have any closing thoughts.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't have a lot of thoughts. I'm pretty blank in the head.
That's not true, but it's okay. I wanted to end with doing a would you rather rapid fire question.
Okay.
With you.
Hit me.
So you can ask me would you rather questions too if you want.
Okay, let me get my phone out
But I do have a few prepared.
Okay.
So I'll come at you whenever you're ready.
This is such good content, just sitting here waiting for me to pull out my phone.
No, it's great. This is what editing's for, but I'll probably still keep it in because I've been too lazy to do too much editing to my podcast lately. The past couple of episodes, I've literally just recorded and uploaded without even listening through.
All right, hit me.
Okay. Would you rather have a permanent clown face or permanent clown clothes?
Oh, clothes.
All right. Would you rather have a rewind button or a pause button on your life?
Rewind.
Okay. I may have asked you this question before, but I don't remember, so I'm going to ask it again. Would you rather, once a week, without knowing what's happening, or when it was happening, be attacked by a gorilla and live, once a week you get attacked by a gorilla, but you live every time, or have everything that you think become real?
Ooh.
It's a good question.
See, the second one has both positives and negatives.
I know.
I would take everything I think becomes real, because getting beat up by a gorilla, that's just all around negative.
There's no positive upsides to
And
that.
like that thing's beating the crap out of me. It's just beating me up in the hospital every week.
I
I'm
know, but
never
you
leaving.
live.
Right, but I've broken all my bones, so I'm just chilling in the hospital bed. Monday rolls around, it beats me up.
But you have no idea when it's gonna happen.
That's fair, but like, say you beat me up on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday, because it's the new week,
Yeah.
it beats me up again. I'm just chilling in a hospital bed. So, yeah, no, I would take everything I thought becomes a reality, because I'd be aware of that, and I would try to be solid with my thoughts.
Yes, yeah, I
That's
get
just ultimate manifesting.
I get way too anxious of thoughts. Like, even though I was talking to Mitch about this before when I was coming up with these questions, he said the same thing. He would just like master his thoughts, and I was like saying all these things out loud. I was like, well, what if you like had like an inappropriate thought in public, or like what if you had like these spiraling thoughts? Like, what if you were like, oh, as a teenager, like, oh, I wish my mom would die. Like, how do you take those things back? I'm way too anxious of a person.
It's fair. It's fair.
But also being attacked, it's a good thing neither of these are actually real.
Yeah, neither are actually happening, but...
No. Okay, would you rather, this is one that my family came up with.
Okay.
At a game at our family reunion. Would you rather talk in a helium voice, like you just inhaled helium for the rest of your life?
Okay.
Or text your friends and family help and then not talk to anyone for a month?
Oh, I would text them.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Over the helium voice? You
Yeah,
traumatize your family?
One's a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
The other one's over in a month. Like, I have no shame.
You're just gonna kill all of your friends and family for a month and think you've just disappeared?
It's better than screwing me over for the rest of my life.
Alright.
Shows what kind of person I am, but...
Would you rather have your only mode of transportation be a donkey or a giraffe?
Oh, giraffe, 100%. That would be awesome.
Okay, would you rather always have to enter rooms by announcing your name or always have to do cartwheels?
I would just always announce my name. You know that sometimes I speak in the third person.
You do, yeah.
So
that
that's
seems,
no big deal.
That seems rational for you.
Yeah. So I'll just be like, hey, Spencer's going to be doing this, and I'm referring to what I'm going to be
Yes,
doing later.
I like it. Would you rather always smell like onions or always smell like garlic?
Oof. Onions.
Yeah? I think I'd
Yeah.
pick garlic.
I feel like, yeah, I'd take onions.
They're both bad.
They're both bad, but yeah.
Okay, would you rather never be able to eat warm food or never be able to drink cold beverages?
See, that really sucks. But I would rather never drink cold beverages.
See, I'd rather never eat warm food. I'm such a drink goblin.
No, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Where mine comes in is like, I when I lived in Korea, almost all those foods are warm foods, and I would have to lose all my Korean food,
Yeah.
all my Thai food.
I know, but you could just eat it cold.
Yeah, but that's different. Especially when it's a spicy food, you just need to eat it when it's.
That's true.
It needs to be
That's fair.
temperature hot and flavor hot.
That's fair. Okay, would you rather always have to sing rather than speak
Okay.
or have to dance everywhere that you go?
Sing rather than speak. I feel like
Yeah.
people. I mean, that would be annoying, but I mean, sometimes I'll catch myself just singing along out loud in grocery stores to
Yeah.
whatever they're playing.
Yeah.
Especially if it's the Backstreet Boys, I would be jamming down
I want it that way.
10 out of 10 times.
Yes.
And I blame one of my roommates every time I do that. I'm like, damn it.
There you go. Would you rather... Okay, this is the last one. This is kind of a classic.
Okay.
Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Okay. One horse-sized duck. Have you seen how ripped horses are?
I agree with you.
Like 100 of those little guys would kick my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Well, because it would just be like fighting one horse.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't. It's not worth it.
It'd be like fighting one horse or 100 ducks
Yeah.
that are as strong as horses.
Yeah. No.
So I
would-
agree.
I would take one really big duck.
I agree. Okay, well, do you have any would you rathers for me, or are you feeling satisfied?
I can pull out a couple from the internet. They're not going to be as good as yours because
That's
these
okay.
are on the fly.
Mine were from ChatGPT, so
We love ChatGPT.
We do
Just
love
in case
ChatGPT.
AI takes over, I'm going to be simping for you right now.
we
so
love you, ChatGPT.
We love you, ChatGPT.
We love you so much.
I will betray just about anyone to avoid Terminator stuff. So keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind for the future. Spencer is on your
I
side.
am on your side. All right, here we go. Would you rather be forced to live the same day over and over again for a full year, or take 3 years off the end of your life, whenever that is? You don't know when that is.
Oof. 1 year over, same day over and over again.
Okay, you Groundhog's Day it for
Yeah,
a year?
for a year. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I would just do a vacation.
That's fair.
A vacation day
That's fair.
for a year.
Just be partying in
Yeah.
Morocco for you, like today's my day.
Yeah.
Okay, would you rather have get a paper cut every time you turned a page of whatever, or bite your tongue every time you ate?
That's such a hard question because I think I already get a lot of paper cuts and I already bite my tongue a lot.
Right, that's why this is a great one.
I think I would bite my tongue though.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I think I'd take the paper cuts.
I would have so many band-aids.
Yeah, but canker sores on your tongue all the time?
Yeah, they're both bad options.
They're both terrible.
They're both terrible options, but I still think I would pick the tongue.
Okay, alright, that's fair. Okay. Would you rather have a third nipple or an
Ooh.
extra toe?
Ooh, extra toe. Absolutely extra toe. Yeah, easy.
Easy one.
I can just wear shoes the rest of my life.
Wear shoes the rest of your life. Okay. Would you rather... See, this is bad content now.
It's alright. We can make this the last one.
Okay. Oh, if this is going to be the last one, here's a good one.
Okay.
Would you rather keep your best friend but lose all your homies? Or keep all your homies but lose your best friend?
Oh my gosh, that is such a terrible... I don't feel like I can answer that. I really don't know what I would pick because I have so many homies.
I'm one of them.
You
I know
are
I'm
one
not
of my
the best
homies.
friend.
But I don't want to lose my bestie. I don't want to lose Riley. But I don't want to lose all of you guys either.
Which one do you think?
I might have to pick lose the best friend.
I'll say, which one do you think Riley would want you to pick?
I don't know. Honestly, she would probably be like, pick me.
We'll text her later.
Just kidding. I know. I think this is purely hypothetical, Riley Jean Dorrance. Don't actually take this
Riley,
to
this
heart.
is 100% gospel, and I want you to know that she loves me more.
No, I have more homies. It's a bigger loss of people than just losing one person.
It's fair.
It's a bigger loss.
All right. I'm happy with that answer.
I know you are, but if you were my bestie, I would still pick the homies over
Well,
the
I know.
besties.
I just know my place.
I know. So it's fine. Well, Spencer, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
I'm very, very happy with you coming on, and it's been very fun.
I'm very happy to have been here. Let's go get some good food.
We're going to go eat some good food, and we're going to talk shit, and I'm sorry you can't all hear it. I love you all. Have a great week. Bye.